Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Sorry if I get very sweaty during this video. It is summer in Australia, so it is a bit brutal and my studio lights are very bright and hot. And I also left myself a little bit disheveled just so I could make a thumbnail image, so hopefully it turns out the way I want it to. Anyway, as you can probably see from the title of the video, that something is afoot, and I thought it was probably the only way I could really address it and, you know, call it clickbaity if you will, but I'm done with collecting the Dragon Ball SH Figuarts line, at least for the mainline figures, because I actually have them all. This is a whole unboxing video. I managed to get all of the main Dragon Ball Figuarts releases, so all of the mainline standard releases, as well as the premium Bandai figures. I do have a few event exclusives, but I don't have the full collection of those yet, and those are the really hard ones to get, and I don't think I'll be completing that set anytime soon, if at all. But I thought that something that was fully attainable was the standard release slash premium Bandai releases. Now, I don't have the Super Android 17 from Dragon Ball GT because that one just came out and it is currently on its way. And yeah, I could have waited for that one to release and arrive, but by the time that happened, then Pan would have probably been out. And then I'd need to wait for Pan, and then by then and more. So I thought I'd just make the video while it's fresh, just get it done, and anything from here on out, all pre-orders and everything like that, I'll be up to date. So it is very cool. I will most likely do a full pan shot of all of the Dragon Ball Figuarts that I have, just for a really cool visual. And I've wanted to do it. I think it'll really make it clear just how much stuff I actually have. But yeah, I thought that'd be cool. So this is my final, for a while, probably, big haul unboxing video, at least in relation to SH Figuarts, because I'm up to date, really. So I don't see anything crazy unless I were to like attain like some other Grail figures and things like that, like the first appearance of Vegeta SH Figuarts, where he's got the really crazy colors. I think that'd be cool, but that one is hard to get. Anyway, we're going right into this, so let's start. So first off, this is the standard release Whis. I've got the event exclusive one. There are some very minor paint differences, but effectively they're the exact same figure. Initially, I was like, I want one of every single sculpt of a character, so like all the Super Saiyan forms of Goku, only needed like one Whis and one Beerus and stuff like that. But by the time I got one sculpt of everyone, there were only a handful of mainline figures left, so I thought I might as well just get the lot. So Whis, practically the exact same figure, just some slight paint differences, accessories the same, everything else is the same. So I've got two Whis and one Beerus, but it's fine. Whis is a cool character. Next up, I think this was the first release for the Perfect Cell. Now the Perfect Cell SH Figuarts, they're just historically not the best. They are pretty alright figures, but in terms of like color, proportions and things like that, they're just a little bit off. Like this one is, I think it's Dragon Ball Kai design, but the colors are very washed out, gritty, and the proportions of the figure in general are just a bit wonky. And there's been a big debate about getting a 2.0/3.0, as well as what's a good replacement, like between this, the Figure Eyes, or the Dragon Stars figure. But this one's a bit too washed out color-wise. The premium color one is probably a little bit too saturated, so it's a little bit awkward. And there's also an event exclusive that has cool colors, but it's still not really quite accurate, but it is all still that same sculpt that is outdated. But in general, it is a good figure. Just if you're really adamant about scale and accuracy, this just is not it. Next up is the Bulma's motorcycle set. Now, I think this is the reissue one. Yes, it is the reissue one. It says it on the back. It's the exact same figure, really. It's a glorified accessory set, but it is listed as an SH Figuarts. And it does come with a miniature Goku, as well as accessories for Bulma. And it's really cool. I think it would just be nice to set it up as a little bit of a display. And I just wanted to complete the entire checklist of figures, so I've got this one. Now, for the checklist, I actually use the Rockchalar's website, where you can just have them all listed out and tick them as you go. There are a bunch of different websites for this, but that's just the one that I use, and it's very visual and clear, and I quite like that. And next up is, I think this is the original color trunks, so the very first SH Figuarts trunks. Now, this one was actually unopened, surprisingly. This is an absolutely brand new figure, and it's probably like the most pristine 1.0 box I've seen. It's actually really, really impressive, because the 1.0 figures are like 15-ish years old now, and so I assume wear and tear, especially since the design of the boxes didn't really like stand the test of time all that well. Even the 2.0 boxes don't. So I was really surprised to see such a pristine box, and it's really, really cool. And it's nice to see what one probably would have looked like on the shelves, just nice and clean, even though I did used to have like the old Gokus and things like that I bought off the shelf, but I just don't remember them looking that good, because the boxes in general are notoriously easy to damage and wear down. And next up is another 1.0 figure. This is the SDCC Piccolo. I don't remember which year it was. I think it was 2013, because it's branded here. But basically this was Anime Colors Piccolo, because the original 1.0 was Manga Colors Piccolo. So this is the older style of SH Figuarts, where there was a much heavier emphasis on paint and detail and things like that, and the 1.0 body. So it's an okay figure, but the colors are really, really nice. And so if I ever do collect all the event exclusives one, I've got at least this Piccolo as well as a few others, so that's cool. Next up is Majin Vegeta, and surprisingly, I think he was opened, but he came with all accessories and his box, but he was like barely used. He even has like the plastic insert on his chest still, which is kind of cool. But yeah, the Majin Vegeta, I don't really like the Majin Vegetas that much. They're fine, but I feel like he needs a 3.0. His body needs way more bulk and some battle damage. But yeah, the Vegetas in general have always had a bit of an issue around the 2.0 era. They just need a little bit of tweaking. If you sort of ported the body type that they've got from the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta throughout, I think that'd be really, really good for him. And next up is the original release Super Saiyan God Goku. Now, I think it was the last haul video where I looked at this figure. My one was missing an accessory. This one is a replacement that I bought that has the accessory. So the full collection has got all the accessories. Everything is perfect. So I'm very, very happy about that. And next up is Android 18 from the Tournament of Power. This is to pair with the 17 that I think was also in the previous video. So all of my androids are complete, so that is very, very good. And I think that'll be a fun figure. The design sort of grew on me over time. I did hear that there were printing errors on these faces, but from what I can see, they seem fine. So I think I got off okay, but yeah. Now, another figure that I got as a replacement, because I didn't like how my one turned out, is the 1.0 Scatter Vegeta. Now, this one, the box isn't in nearly as good condition and anything like that, but the figure itself is in great condition. The colors seem pretty pristine and maintained, whereas the other one that I had was yellowing quite significantly. This one is much better, so I am happy about that. Next up is the original Raditz. Now, I got the event exclusive Raditz from 2023, and I didn't mind that figure, but he was incredibly loose in some parts, and I just didn't like handling it, but I did like the colors, and this one always sort of eluded me, but I eventually decided to bite the bullet because of the ones that I was missing in the collection. So I've got this one now. I don't know if the original mold of this figure holds up better in terms of joint tolerances and things like that, but we shall see. I will eventually review all of these. Again, if there is a specific Figuarts that you want me to review that I haven't yet out of the entire collection, please let me know, because I do intend to go through all of them, but if you want to see one sooner rather than later, please let me know, because I've got a massive backlog. And then, speaking of ones that I had looked at previously, or at least I have previously, but I didn't have the standard release, I've got the Nappa. Now, this is the first release Nappa, the second one was an event exclusive one. I liked the event exclusive one more because of the colors, but I ended up getting this one to pair better, And he does actually have an accessory that the event exclusive doesn't have. It's an effect part. So at least there is differences between the releases. And there is one last Figuarts to look at, and I think it is probably the most important out of them. It's one of the more elusive ones because there are several ridiculous standard / premium Bandai releases, and those are the ones that aren't standard in Japan, because the standard in Japan ones are decently easy to come by. When they are region specific, it is way, 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 way harder, and there have been two to my knowledge, which is the Kaioken Goku from 2023 or early 2024, I can't really remember, where he had a matte finish and slightly different accessories, but generally a new paint job, and he was exclusive to Walmart and Target. And then there was the original Zamasu, which in general it is weird how few super figures there are. Like, there's not a lot of Goku Black, but there is like more than normal. There's barely any Zamasu, there's barely any Zamasu fused, there's pretty much no Kefla beyond just the SH Figuarts, there's very few Jiren. It's really strange just how little super representation there are in general in figures beyond like Goku and Vegeta forms, including like fusions and stuff like that. Beyond that, there is very little representation, and I'm also including like Beerus Whis and all that because they are technically from Z movie stuff, so they're still technically in the umbrella of Z. But yeah, if you're not Goku and Vegeta, it's very rare that you'll get like a statue from Super. But anyway, the only standard Zamasu figure, to my knowledge, that exists is the SH Figuarts, and that was a US exclusive as well. I think it was US Premium Bandai, and he is notoriously hard to get. I managed to get one, and it's got the Super Box, which was also impressive. And initially I thought I got scammed because it was a delivery company I'd never dealt with, but I also didn't deal with the international mail through the US that much in the past. So I managed to get Zamasu, very, very happy about it. It has got all the branding and distribution stickers that it needs. And yeah, it's Zamasu. There's nothing too crazy about it because I've got the fused Zamasu, so it's the same body, really. But it is just cool because they've never revisited this figure, or very rarely ever go to like a regular Zamasu. The fused Zamasu is still one of the cooler Figuarts because it's almost two figures in one. But this, why was this a US exclusive? It's still so strange. But I finally got this one, and with that, the collection of standard releases is complete. And yeah, it's a nice little weight off my chest because there's a little bit of hunting and craziness going around, and I was able to get most of these for good prices, and now it's a nice little pin in my collection that it is done, and anything else is just a little bit of a bonus. And I just stay up to date with the releases as they come. Who knows if I'll get rid of these one day, but for now I've got them all, and someday I would like to finally get a display where I can open these all up and set them all up and make a beautiful display of every single Figuarts made. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and again, if you would like me to review any of these, please let me know. I will be going through them eventually. Some of them will get double reviews, some of them will get triple reviews, depending on my mood, but I will get through all of these eventually. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time.